So you want to generate brand new images that have never existed before, and you might think, well, I have this autoencoder that can compress and reconstruct images perfectly, so why don't I just sample random points in the latent space and decode them into new images? Let me show you what happens when you try this. You get complete garbage, just noise and meaningless patterns. And this happens because the latent space of a standard autoencoder is a complete mess with no organization whatsoever. You see, standard autoencoders take your high-dimensional input like an image with thousands of pixels and compress it down to a single point in a low-dimensional space, maybe just 10 or 100 numbers, and then they reconstruct it back, which works great for compression, but terrible for generation. The problem is that each image maps to just one specific point in this latent space, and all the space between these points is undefined territory that produces nonsense when you try to decode it. Now here's where things get really cool. Instead of mapping each input to a single point, what if we mapped it to an entire probability distribution? This is exactly what variational autoencoders do, and it changes everything about how we can generate new data. When you feed an image into a VAE, the encoder doesn't just output a single latent vector, it outputs two things, a mean vector mu and a standard deviation vector sigma, which together define a Gaussian distribution in the latent space. But wait, how do we train something that involves random sampling from distributions? You can't backpropagate through randomness, right? This is where the reparameterization trick comes in. Instead of sampling directly from our distribution, we sample epsilon from a standard normal distribution, then compute the ZD equals a mu plus sigma times epsilon, and now we can backpropagate through mass and sigma while keeping the randomness separate. It's such a simple trick, but it makes the whole thing trainable. The training objective for VAEs is called the elbow, which stands for evidence lower bound, and it has two parts that balance each other perfectly, and I've explained it in a previous video. The first part is the expected log likelihood of p of x given z, which is just your reconstruction loss making sure the decoder can rebuild the original image from samples of the latent distribution. And the second part is the KL divergence between q of z given x and p of z, which acts as a regularizer pulling all those individual Gaussian distributions toward a standard normal distribution. What this regularization does is magical. It organizes the entire latent space so that similar images have overlapping distributions, and the space between meaningful points becomes meaningful too. During training, you can actually watch this happen as all the latent representations start clustered together in one spot, then the KL divergence term kicks in and spreads them out into a beautiful organized Gaussian cloud where every point corresponds to a valid image. Once you have a trained VAE, generation becomes trivial. You just sample from a standard normal distribution and decode it. And because the latent space is so well organized, you get realistic new images every time. But it gets even better than that because you can take two images, encode them to get their latent distributions, and then interpolate smoothly between their means to create a whole sequence of images that gradually morph from one to the other, something that would be impossible with regular autoencoders. And that's basically it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!